Hello everyone. Today we'll be focusing on BioStar 2 new features version 2.9.3. This is Fit On from Suprema Global Technical Support Sector. Let's get started. Today's contents will be focused on new features, backup and restore, access control report, and also card print. New features of BioStar 2 version 2.9.3 includes backup and restore, access control report, card printer, and lastly, camera QR relevant. Now, let's start with system backup and restore. Until BioStar 2 version 2.9.2 or lower versions, users needed to manually back up the necessary files, such as database or in-key file, to prepare for any unexpected problems. However, this must be done manually, which may be cumbersome. And there is potential for issues during the backup, such as missing some files that are mandatory. The BioStar 2 version 2.9.3 system provides a backup and recovery feature that allows for the backup of essential information, such as the BioStar 2 database, various configurations, and data. In situations where BioStar 2 encounters operational issues, this tool enables recovery process the previously saved backup files. The most important keys that I would like to know is that if the MS SQL database and BioStar 2 are installed on different PCs as in different servers, currently BioStar 2 version 2.9.3 will not be able to allow system backup and restore. And also, if the BioStar 2 version at the time of backup is different from the current version, the restoration will not proceed. As this means is currently you are using BioStar 2.9.3 and you have decided to use the restore and backup process. And then later on, you updated your BioStar 2 to 2.9.4 or 2.9.5 or any upcoming BioStar 2 versions. At that moment, if you have a restore and backup of 2.9.3 while using BioStar 2 version 2.9.5, the backup and restore version will not be applicable. So you must have same exact BioStar 2 versions in order to use the restore and backup process. Now, let's see how it has been done in BioStar 2.9.2 and below versions. You see, in the past, you had to individually click database access control, database TNA, database
video,
images of image log, configuration files, license, graphic map, video log of videos, and certificate, and back them all up. After backing them all up, you also had to restore them individually by database of access control, database of TNA, and etc. in each individual process. But now, with BioStar 2 version 2.9.3 and upcoming higher versions, you will be able to do this troublesome process in one-click queue using system backup process. You simply have to click system backup in BioStar 2. And then all these data in the past which you had to click individually will be backed up once. And using that backed up file, simply clicking restore button, you'll be able to restore them all at once as well. I have a demo video to show you more in depth. The video can be a little quick. Please be aware, but you can easily click on pause and watch them later on. Now, the backup file path is set up as a default. You may change it, but if you do not and leave it as the default, it will be located exactly where your BioStar 2 is installed. The number of backup files to keep value is default at 5, but if you have more data storage space in your drive and you would like to keep more data, then you can change your default value as well. Or if you have a database storage that's a little less and you're worried about it, then you can decrease it to 1 as well. Now, automatic system backup literally means that automatically by setting up the frequency of if you want to back it up daily, weekly, or monthly, it will automatically do it for you within BioStar 2 software. Please be aware that when you do set up your automatic system backup frequency to monthly, then when the day of backup is set as 29th or 30th or 31st, as you know, some months do not have those dates. If it's a month that does not have those dates, then it will not be automatically doing the system backup. So please be aware of that feature. And then for the time setting of all the system backup is going to be following your BioStar 2 settings time zone feature. Now let me show you how the backup works. Let's look at the backup now. As soon as you click backup now, it's going to give you a warning sign. Any changes made after the start of this backup will not be applied. This means while there is a backup process going on, before it finalizes and you add a new user or you make a different changes, those new changes will not be added. Please be cautious of that. So make sure you make any changes after backup system is all set up. How can you tell your system backup has been done completely without an issue? You're going to go to BioStar 2 monitoring event log. As shown in the image, it's going to state system backup complete. After the completion, you'll be able to make any changes you would like to desire. Now we're going to go to BioStar Restore. How to get to BioStar Restore is exactly the same as how you find BioStar setting. Now the restore looks like this. You're going to find your backup file, which is located in the default. And then you're going to restore it. And for now, currently in my PC, I'm using MariaDB, so it requires MariaDB root password. Make sure you know that information before you start the process as well. And when the backing up is done, you will be able to check them all, and it will have been applied to your BioStar 2 software. Now let's move on to Access Control AC Report. BioStar 2 version 2.9.3 allows users to generate access control reports. Access control report is a user-friendly feature that provides information on registered users in BioStar 2 software. At one glance, you can gather data on occurred events or on devices added on BioStar 2. Access control report will assist users to efficiently comprehend the status of users in BioStar 2 and with the user's credentials. Access control report could be considered as a more comprehensive level of a report in comparison to event log in the monitoring menu of BioStar 2. I also have a demo. Let's look at it together. Now, starting from BioStar 2 version 2.9.3, you can find report menu, which is located on the left-hand side at the bottom. When you click on the report menu, automatically a new tab will be opened. Do not be worried, it's a simply new tab just to create for a report. Please give it some time for the report tab to be loaded fully. It's not an issue, it will have a loading speed, please be aware of that. When it's loaded fully, you'll be able to see that there's a separate tab open. While you have BioStar 2 running, you can also have BioStar 2 report tab going on as well. Now, Access Report has three main elements, as you can see on the top left-hand corner. That's Generate Report, Schedule, and Settings. Generate Report has to do with dealing with anything that has to do with creating a report. Schedule is setting for automatically generating report. Settings is to simplify to users to understand that this settings menu is different from BioStar 2 settings menu. It's solely focusing on the report side of the settings. Now within each menu, let's start focusing on Generate Report. First, it's going to have Save Reports, Users, and Event. Now, Save Reports is previously generated report settings that are stored in this section. Users predefined settings for users related report. Events, setting up the event to be included in the generated report that you would like to create. Now, the settings for report have two major factors, as you see on the top. It has report and it has BioStar 2 admin login. The default for export report path is located in BioStar 2 report folder. BioStar 2 admin login must be activated for those who are planning on using automatic report generation feature of BioStar 2. If you're not planning on using the automation feature of the report, you do not need to fill in this important information. But if you are planning on it, please go ahead and fill in this information. Now, after setting up the BioStar 2 admin in settings, now you will be able to set up the automatic report schedule. This is the part in the schedule menu. Click on Add Schedule to start setting up for automatic report generation. Now, in the schedule, you see you can set up the information, schedule name, report and schedule. The report option will only be shown when customized report has been set saved beforehand. Currently only support custom report with dynamic period, so you must have a generate report and have it previously set up to use this feature. Now, lastly, we'll be focusing on card printing process. BioStar 2 supports printing user information according to a predefined card design on a connected card printer device through linking with a software name called ID card. As shown on the screen, the user card can be printed by pressing the print card button below the user profile image. The name of the card printer software that can be connected in this way is called CardPresso, and that manufacturer name is also called CardPresso. Now, let's find out what information can be printed out on these cards on the next page. Now, based on BioStar 2 user menu, as you can see on the screen, user photo, name, email, department, title, and ID, and telephone, user group, and custom fields defined by the user can be printed on these cards by using CardPresso software. However, please note that a total of 10 custom fields can be added, so make sure which information you would like to be printing on these cards. Now let's move on and have a look at the overall system configuration. The full system configuration is as below. CardPresso software and card printer must be installed in advance. And also, CardPresso web print server must be starting to link BioStar 2 and CardPresso software. This is critically important. Now, if the CardPresso web print server is stopped, card printing is not possible. So make sure your CardPresso web print server is going on at the same time. There are a total of 2 steps to be used, the card printing function. First, install CardPresso. In the case of CardPressos, please be aware that the software can be used through a separate license. And this license related to CardPresso is not dealt with Suprema. You need to directly be in contact with CardPresso to be using this feature. So please separately contact CardPresso and make sure you get and purchase the CardPresso XXL edition license listed in this below chart to make sure you'll be able to use this card printing process with BioStar 2 software. Now, the second part is to install BioStar 2. The reason why we call it step 1 and step 2 is for precautions matter when installing with CardPresso software. So if you have not installed BioStar 2 in advance, make sure you install CardPresso software first and then have BioStar 2 running. Now, let's say you have purchased all the CardPresso necessary license and you are ready to apply it with BioStar 2. After purchasing CardPresso license, you can install and set up CardPresso as followed in the image. Let's follow in one by one in order. There is a license input page during the installation process, and if you do not enter license information, you will not proceed to the next process. So make sure you have this license information in advance. Be sure to purchase a license in advance before proceeding. It's critical for you. Once the installation process is complete, a menu will appear allowing you to design your card. There are 2 most important points in this process. One is to enter the name type of BioStar 2 user information for each card design item after designing the card. Also, it is important to start the CardPresso print server. When you add a card template in card, Presso software, you can add text boxes as well, photo boxes, etc. to the template. If you specify an item ID name that matches the type in BioStar 2 user data, in the individual text box, the corresponding information will be printed on the card when printing the user card in BioStar 2. It may be a bit complicated, but we'll explain further on the next page. As you see in this card, you have BioStar 2 user data, but also you have item ID name, which can be correlated, but you have to be very precautions about this card. On the right is a card template that we created with Card Presso. There are several text fields and a picture field. Based on BioStar 2 user fields, let's add name, photo, email, department, and custom field to the card templates, as you can see here. Click on each field of the card template design, refer to the item in BioStar 2 user data, and then enter the item ID name that maps to that part. For example, if you want to set the BioStar 2 username in the card template, select the text box and enter name in the item field. To create a user profile photo, select the photo box and enter photo in the item field. The completed template can be saved and used later when loading it in BioStar 2 settings. Please remember the save path. Please do remember the path that you have taken. After saving the card template, the next step is to run the card print server. Remember how it's critically important that the card print server must be running. Please create an additional card presser shortcut that is created by default. The name may be confusing, so please change it to Card Presso Web Print Server. Make sure you change the name so when you see it on your background or on the shortcut that it has a different feature to it. Next, enter print server in the last sentence of the target path to be executed and save it. And the setup is complete. Afterwards, if you click the shortcut, the web print server will run. The process you checked earlier includes installing Card Presso, creating a card template, and running the Card Presso web print server. The following is the setup procedure in BioStar 2. After logging into BioStar 2, you can print the user card by entering the relevant setting through the card printer button in the setting menu. Let's check out the demo video on the next page. Now, lastly, this is one of the features that I would like to point out as you're using BioStar 2 version 2.9.3. Uh, yes, we did release a camera QR option for your BioStation 3. While you use it with BioStar 2 version 2.9.3, you can see the QR and barcode section separated. Use QR and barcode through camera, use QR and barcode through scanner. There is a difference, please be aware of that. The device license is required to use camera QR of BioStation 3. So please follow the link if you have any further questions. And if you'd like to purchase the device license to use your camera QR code with BioStation 3, please contact your sales director. Now, with the camera QR added to BioStar 2, now from BioStar 2 version 2.9.3, you'll be able to actually see the event logs in depth as well. The event code are listed as below. Before, let's say for a one-on-one authentication failed, now you'll be able to see that if the authentication failed has occurred due to the QR or barcode. Also, there are many more event codes that you might have not seen before as an exceeded QR max size, which means this is not the barcode or the QR code that is supported by BioStation 3. As in, we only support ASCII type or the numeric QR that could be read. So please check your QR code as well. An unsupported character also means the data within the BioStation 3 readable QR is not as defined. So if you have any log information or issues you feel like you're facing, you can go to the event log and see why you're getting those events. The frequently asked question that has been focused on BioStar 2 version 2.9.3 was, does the report feature support the custom field of the user information in BioStar 2? Many of you might have a custom field separated as designed for certain users. However, currently, unfortunately, it does not support the user custom field in the report. So be aware that you won't be able to add this onto the report menu. I have the below error when I click test print, and there is the error print job failed. This question is regarding to the card print using CardPresso software. Now, this is the type of the error screen you'll be facing. Please make sure the web print server is running and opening. This was one of the key points that we want to make sure you understand, that your web print server must be running and is open in order for the card printing process to go on. Lastly, we have been facing some questions stating that after updating or upgrading to BioStar 2 version 2.9.3, the client is facing some difficulties in running the software. Now, these parts can be divided into two parts. The first thing we would like to check is if your database in BioStar software is installed in separate servers. If this is your case, yes, your answer is yes to this question. Please contact your direct technical solution team to receive further guidelines. And also, if your BioStar software is installed in a C drive of your PC, or is it installed in another drive? If it is installed in another drive than the C drive, this can also be fixed and could be checked by your direct technical solution team to receive further guidelines. So please contact or raise a ticket in order to find out how to fix your issue using BioStar 2 version 2.9.3. Now, that's all we have prepared for you today. Thank you for listening. I hope to see you on our next webinar. Thank you.